glorious day until our breath is taken away. We realize its fragility and impermanence and mortality. Impact on world, global warming, protecting world wildlife animals, protecting marine life animals, protecting rhino, elephants, lions, whales, silverbacks, and all other species of the planet. Marine life after fishing with machines, education, tapping, taking, hunting. Education seems to be about hunting. If you do not marry economy and ecology, economy will win hands down, and our survival on this beautiful blue planet will cease to exist. The human species have made this planet into a fireball, a bonfire. Suddenly, the leaders, suddenly the royals, suddenly the governments, suddenly everyone is waking up because the earth is shaking and showing its way of recovering life back. Suddenly, from the royals to the politicians, to the theologians, to the gurus, all are talking about environmental impact. The very impact of that blue, turquoisey phenomena of life is making life as it rolls onto the ocean, as it rolls and breaks on that breakwater barrier. Abundance of life and biodiversity. The microbe life has been decimated, dismantled. We destroyed the biodiversity for profit, for selfish greed. Not we are now looking to fix that critical part of this life-making matter on earth. The critical part to fix is oneself's selfish and limited mindset. Politicians, the biggest asteroid all human species on this planet has become the biggest asteroid to strike the planet million years ago. We were meant to be evolved creatures to take care and protect and be conscious and responsible and be sensitive to life and take care of this beautiful earth we call ourselves, that we share, the Mother Earth. Troubling to free ourselves from the pandemic has caused even more disastrous situations. For the marine life with our masks, and our chemical solutions that we have found for ourselves, to our laboratories that are throwing out gadgets and contraptions and paraphernalia to protect ourselves from the harm. The harm was done by our own limited knowledge of life. Trouble to free ourselves from this ever twisted and tangling lives. The universities are gathering data, prepares and write up reams of stories and tales, whilst the habitat loss, hunting increase, life decimated and extinct, our basic necessities to life restricted. There is no good food, there is no clean water, there is no clean air to breathe for life. The food and water security is becoming a reality. Loss of insect life is the most disastrous impact that it can cause to human food supply. Yet, hardly anyone is interested in the plantations, vegetations, and the bushes that these creatures and insects pollinate, hibernate, produce, and contribute to the richness of the biodiversity of the living matter on earth. Extinction is natural process. Soil degradation is a human making. This is all because of marketing and commercial value has been added to what we do in life. Penguin scales are sold as medical or medicinal, like nails. Overfishing, hundreds of thousands of trawlers, jumbo jets in one net capacity has completely wiped out marine life to extinction. The coral reefs have been damaged through reef building and breakwater walls. Natural balance of fish in the ocean is depleting only because we see ourselves to make money out of it. Carbon footprint is moved to developing countries. Consumption in the Western world and the developed and influential world is now seeing the developing world and the poor, struggling economies of the world to pay for what they've been doing for centuries. One agreement to the next. Habitats been destroyed and destructed. Monoculture. Agriculture. Heap of food that are produced only to be dumped as waste or being burnt. Customer data, shipping data, shopping data, compulsions of human behaviors captured. All of this has contributed to heavy loss of biodiversity. Your coffee cup is the biggest problem. Soya to cocoa, palm oil to beef, humans to poultry consumption. Human impact on natural environment is far more greater than your naked eye. Your faculties of knowledge, of understanding about our Mother Earth is minuscule and has no comparison. Our fashion industry, the animals are distressed ahead of viruses simply because animal habitation is destroyed or been turned into landfill sites or industrial sites to produce your next designer clothing. Private sector makes large profit of economic growth. In turn, the governments are making even larger. Catch. Government and predicate sector is dancing the coast, whilst you as a compulsive being been sent into a trance to indulge in what you know best, which is consume. Producing and consuming. Rivers and rivers are sinking, are flowing with poisons and chemicals. People who extract will pay the price. Food production has become a profit-making, an industry spreading chemicals in the air to the Earth's landscape of the fragile ecosystem, to the oceans, to the arable land, has made food production a chemically infused food production compared to what would have been a natural process of life, an abundance of food that is produced to support the carrying capacity of the planet's living species across board. A private sector can make a profit and conserve the planet if they are conscious and responsible enough. A chemical hairspray to your sun lotions whilst you're sunbathing, imagining that you want to be looking like me. What happens next is up to every one of us. A fraction of the human beings live and die without ever touching the inner genius within themselves. I wish and I hope as we move on to the biggest environmental summit on the planet, the COP 2021 in Glasgow, I hope, may I wish that every human being becomes conscious and responsible and walk the path, walk the talk they make, and make a simple contribution, which is not too much to ask for, and that is your inward step and being conscious and gentle and being most sincere with yourself and become a responsible and evolved creature so that we as human beings will live to experience and live a little bit better and much better than how we found it before we came here on this earth. And this is not too much to ask for the next generation and generations to follow behind us, and for them to imagine that what they've seen, what they have experienced in their life is of somewhat that they can remember their forefathers, and that this generation took some sturdy and responsible actions to make our planet a livable and more appreciable and more generous one than our ancestors have done in the past, and that we walk the less walked path and become conscious about our environment and how we conduct ourselves wherever we are.